This is the time I go live every Sunday night, 7:30 on a Sunday night. In fact, I think I'm actually a minute early, which almost never happens. Everyone will be quite shocked. I'm quite sure no one will be here yet because they're not expecting me to go live before 7:30. It's 7:29. Actually, it's just ticked over now. So anyway, I hope everybody is well. I hope you've all had a fantastic weekend. The weather here on the Central Coast has been absolutely beautiful. And I hope that you got to enjoy that beautiful springtime weather. If you're elsewhere in the world and it's not so springtime, maybe where you are, it's autumn, or I believe some people call it fall. So wherever you are, though, I hope it's beautiful and you had a great weekend. Hey, all right, let me just quickly log on to my page to make sure that I am actually showing up. So I'm just going to refresh my page and make sure that it's showing up in the right place. Oh, it's looking good. Let me click on that so I can see your comments. Hooray, we're in business. Hey, Kay. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Rose. Hello. Nice to see you guys. I hope you had a beautiful day. I had a really productive day today, surprisingly. It just went like that. Some days you feel like you don't achieve much at all, and other days go really well. My husband was doing a little bit of work today, so while he was working, I got on the computer and loaded up my new online class. So that went up this morning. So if you haven't seen it yet, you might want to go check it out. It's on my blog and also on my Facebook page. And I might even show you a couple of the projects here tonight for anyone who's curious about what's involved. And hey, so I see lots of familiar faces popping up and people from everywhere. We've got Teresa from Oregon, which is a beautiful place. I've been there. I have not, though, Tammy, been to West Virginia. So I'm sure that's gorgeous too. Hey, everyone. Hi there. Just back from a walk in the back paddock. Oh, that's nice. A black lamb? Or is mum black as well, or just a little lamb? That's very cute. I grew up on a farm, and I used to love springtime and all the little lambs with their little tails wiggling while they were drinking their milk. You didn't get a notification tonight. Don't know why, Cherie. That's a bit odd. Can everyone hear me okay? I've got my AirPods in, and I'm hoping. Hey there, Deb. Nice to see you. How are you doing? Are you feeling better? That's what I'd like to know. And hey, Sharon, California. Everyone's from everywhere. That's awesome. And I've missed a few people I see. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Margaret. I've missed some people. So thank you, Lynn. Thank you for telling me the sound is good. And Kay, thank you. All right. I'm going to pop the phone in the holder and we'll get going. I'm going to play with a set tonight that is one of my new favorite sets. Oh, good, Deb. I'm so glad. I'm really, really glad to hear that. Oh, good. Whereabouts are you, Michelle? Where do you hail from? You've been trying to craft today. I didn't get a lot of paper craft done. I'm working on a crochet blanket at the moment, and I got a couple more squares done today. I'm trying to get a couple done every day, and I'm working on the 40th square, so I'm getting there. It's starting to look blanket size, which is pretty exciting, which is very cool. It's the first blanket I have ever made in my life. I did do a lot of squares, granny squares, when I was little, when I was young, and my mum taught me to crochet. And I made lots and lots of squares, but never actually made them into a blanket. And who knows? I think my mum probably threw them out long, long, long ago. But oh, you're on the Central Coast too, same as me. Hey, I didn't know that. There you go. Oh, you used to live on the Central Coast. Got it. I see that. And now you're in New Zealand. Well, that's not such a bad move. It's beautiful over there. North or South Island? Whereabouts are you? You were sorting die cuts. But you know what? That's a good job to get done, right? When you've finished with that, you'll feel like you've really accomplished something. That's very cool. All right, let's get this turned around and get some crafting happening. I'm excited to do some bits and pieces and show you what I've been working on. So give me a second. Let's switch it around. All right. I'm getting better. I shouldn't say this before I do it. I'm getting better at not switching the phone off when I turn it around, because that was one of my tricks there for a while. I haven't done that for a little while. Touch wood. Let's hope I don't. Is that good? Everyone can see that? Yeah, it looks okay. Good. It looks okay on my computer. So, like I said, I launched my new online class this morning, and I'm going to show you the projects. I don't normally show the projects ahead of time, but I really want people to understand what they get in an online class and how it all works. Because of the pandemic, I have stopped running classes at home. I haven't run any classes since early this year. We were in lockdown from the end of June to last week. So we're actually back out again now. But I'm sort of picking up slowly, and I'm going to announce some classes here in the studios sometime soon, but I'm only going to be having limited numbers. So I'm not sure exactly. I'm thinking maybe 5 people. Certainly 3. 3 will definitely not be a problem, but I've just got to be careful of how far apart people are seated, that kind of thing. So I'm sort of working that out. That probably won't be more than 5. So it's somewhere between 3 and 5. I'd like to think that will work. But because of that, I started running online classes way back in March. Well, I had run them before previously, but then I'd stopped doing it because people preferred face to face. And then when March 2020 came along and we had no choice but to go online, I started running them again. And I have every month since then, once, sometimes twice a month, run online classes. So the online classes have been going well. Some months obviously are better than others, but I have found that I'm getting a lot of repeat people who have done them and really like the way they work. There's two different ways they work. So I'm going to show you this month's, this is with the Whimsy and Wonder set, which is on page 25 of the new catalogue. It's this one here, 24 and 25, this Whimsy and Wonder suite, okay, which consists of a stamp set called Whimsical Trees, matching dies called Christmas Trees dies. That's an original name, isn't it? There's also Blushing Bride ribbon, which I'll come back to in a second. This is the frayed ribbon. It's got like a rough edge on it. And then the wonderful snowflakes, these guys, and the beautiful, beautiful designer series paper, which is a specialty paper because it's got that gorgeous iridescent foil on it. So this is what this set is made up of. Now, currently, as we speak, the Blushing Bride, let me try and say that without falling over my own lips. Blushing Bride frayed grosgrain ribbon, this one here, this is currently out of stock. In fact, it's so out of stock you can't even order it because it's been popular and people want it, and right now it's not expected. I haven't looked up the date, but anyway, you can't get this ribbon right now. And I thought about not running this class this month, but then I decided to go ahead anyway because it's getting close to Christmas. We haven't got a lot of time left, and I really wanted to use this beautiful suite. And I've substituted the pink ribbon for the gorgeous glittered organdy ribbon, okay, which is this white one with I hope you can see it. Maybe you can see it if I hold it up. It's got these gorgeous kind of shimmery, iridescent shimmer glitter through the ribbon, okay, and this looks really pretty with it as well. So I've found that I think you could use either of the 2 ribbons with this suite. You don't have to have the Blushing Bride, but because it's currently on back order, I've gone with the other one and still running the class, just substituted the ribbon. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. So like I said, there's 2 types of online classes. One is where I do it by Zoom. I send out all the pieces, everybody comes together on the Zoom call, and we make the cards together, okay? And then the other kind is the one that I'm doing this month, which is a pre-recorded video tutorial. So I send you the link to the video tutorial, which you have to have the link to be able to see it. It's not on my public YouTube page. It's actually a private link. Well, not private, but unlisted. And then I send it to you and you click on the link and you can watch it at any time that suits you. And I send you all the pieces. You substitute with your own stamps. So if you wanted, for example, to have a different sentiment on here, you would just put whatever sentiment you happen to have in your collection. This is this month's project. So I have a very, very quick squiz at these. You can see we've got the beautiful glittered ribbon that I was just talking about. This is the Blushing Bride. I love Blushing Bride in white. I just think it's a really nice combo. Blushing Bride I describe as pink with personality. It's not really a dirty pink. but it's not a lolly pink or a clean, what I would call a clean pink. It's like I said, it's got personality. It's I got a bit of depth to it, and it looks fantastic with white. And in this case, you can see we've got some of that iridescent stuff going on as well. So that's one card, and then we have this one, which is the mint macaron base, and I've used some more of the beautiful paper. Okay, so you can see in both of these, we've got the iridescent foil on the papers. So that one's with the blush and grow. This one is mint macaron with the iridescent foil on white. And then you'll also see I've used a tag behind here, and you'll see my green tree. I've given it a bit of a treatment, like a bit of a background technique in here to give it a bit of pop, and I show you how to do that in the tutorial. Okay, and then the last project is actually this cute little gift card. This is a pop-up gift card holder where you slide off the piece, and you'll see I've just got a little random gift card in there, but you can see I've actually gone ahead and I've got my little card in there. But the class shows you how to make all these, and if you are in Australia and you wanted to actually get the pieces sent out as well, you can place an order of any size. I put all the details up on my blog and also my Facebook page, and the details will be down below here, and you'll be able to see if you wanted to be part of that. You just place an order of any size. I'm not asking for any particular size of order, and I will send you all the pieces, and I will also send you the video tutorials so you can put them together in your own time at your own convenience. So the cool thing about those is you don't have to make yourself available at a particular time. You just do them when you think you're ready. Okay, so anyone who would like to be part of that, you just place an order through, and there's also a host code to use, and yeah, you can put an order in of any size. It doesn't matter what size your order is. If you don't use the host code, but you want to be included in the class because maybe you got an order that's bigger and you didn't want to use the host code, just let me know that you wanted to be part of the class. All right, so this suite, I did not grab it first, okay? When I first went looking through the catalogue, this is not one that I was particularly drawn to, although I did like the paper. I got that straight away. And what I have discovered is every single time I make a card with this suite, with the papers and in these colours, and then throw the stamp set out as well, every single time, everyone loves them, okay? And I realised that just because it wasn't something I had drawn to straight away, everyone else loves these colours, right? The pink and the green is gorgeous. I've got a couple of other cards here that I've made. This is actually the very first one I made with this set. And you'll notice that these are ones I've made in different live videos over the last few weeks, and every single time I make one, everybody goes, wow, that's a lovely card. So I figured it's not me, it's the suite. It's just beautiful. So let's have a little play, and I thought, let's have a look at the paper first. I thought that what I would do is actually pick the deeper pink. This color, this pink here is polished pink. The light pink, the one that is in here, this is blushing bright, but the darker pink is polished pink, and I haven't made any cards with the polished pink, so I'm going to do that tonight. We're going to play around with a bit of a darker pink for a very non-traditional Christmas. And then on the back, you can see we've got our polished pink. Beautiful, beautiful holly on this side. You've got your iridescent stripes here. This color is Mossy Meadow, and it's not a color I would necessarily have thought to use with all these others, and yet somehow, as you can see here in the holly, it seems to work. Then we've got the beautiful green. On the back, she got some stripes. This one's actually my favorite in the whole thing, the one with the trees and the iridescent stars. I just love that. I think it's gorgeous. We've got some little Christmas presents here. Really cute. What's on the back of that? Some more holly with the mossy meadow again. And then we have some cute little ornaments. Super, super cute. You can see all the iridescent sparkle on that. And on the back, we've got some misty moonlight trees, which is very cute. And you can just see how beautiful all these pieces are. Okay, they're colours that the green, like I said, the dark green isn't the colour I probably would have put with these, and yet somehow it just works. It's on here and it looks terrific. So anyway, that's kind of where we're going with that. So I thought I'd start tonight. We'll do a really simple little card to start with the pink. I like this distress look on this one. I think it's really cute. Oh, did you, Jenny, did it work for you? Did you enjoy using that new method? Gosh, lots of comments. So sorry if I've missed any comments. If anyone has any questions, I'm just going back through to see if I've missed any questions. But yeah, if if anyone does want to ask me anything, maybe ask it now in case I've missed it. If I've missed your question, my humble apologies. You only stuffed it up once. Well, we don't like stuffing up, but hey, that happens sometimes, right? So here's Polish Pink. This is a really interesting pink. It's like a hot pink, but it's a little softer. And I'll show you what I mean by that. If I was to pick a couple of our pinks, for example, we've got 3 pinks that I would describe as hot pink, I guess. So this one is the Polish Pink. Then we've got Melon Mambo. Let's put them next to each other so you can see. You can see it's quite different, okay? Melon Mambo is a deeper pink. Looks really good with black, the Melon Mambo. This is softer. And then you've got the really, what I would call more of a candy pink or a lolly pink. This is Magenta Madness. Can you see how different they all are? This one's got a little bit more coral in it than these two. A little bit more corally. So it's kind of interesting to see them all together and to realize, you know, I would not call this coral for even a second, but when you put it through with when you put it next to those other ones, well, then all of a sudden it's a little bit different. All right, so here I have a piece of the Polish Pink. I've already cut this to size before we started. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I'm going to glue this into place. I'll use my seal adhesive for this, but you can use whatever adhesive you like to use. Actually, while I think of it, I'm going to bring out my silicone mat too. That way I won't have to worry about any adhesive getting on the back, on the paper underneath. All right, so let's just pop this here on one side. So this is going to be a really simple card. Now, this is a piece of our, can you see it? It's shimmer vellum. I'm actually just going to put my lamp on next to my desk because it might help us light up any shimmer a little better. Okay, so shimmer vellum is great for a few reasons. It's a little bit translucent, but not, like you can sort of see through here, but not nearly as much as, say, white vellum. White vellum is much more harder to hide your adhesive behind. So I'm actually going to be kind of popping this over here. I'm going to have my sentiment on there. I haven't even decided what sentiment I want to have yet, but that's okay. We'll worry about that in a second. I also have some of these lovely, wonderful snowflakes. Love, love, love these. These are heaps of fun. They come in, actually, how many do you get in a packet? I probably should have looked at that. I know there's lots because I've got a couple of packets of them left over. And I'm going to be using them in my class as well. You might notice that in my gift card holder, I've actually got one sitting behind the belly band here, which kind of looks pretty. All right, so it does say there are 24 iridescent foil snowflakes in the pack, so that gives you quite a lot of scope. And the cool thing is it's iridescent on one side, this side here, and on the other side it's just flat white. So if you wanted to use the white side and maybe make them another color by sponging or using your blending brushes over the top to add different colors to them, you can make them any color you like, which is something like that. And also you can use this leftover piece here as a template and, you know, either spray or use a blending brush over those again to give you different shapes underneath. In fact, this card that I showed you before, that's how I got those snowflakes. I didn't use the leftover templates, but I used one of these, turned it up the other way so the white side was showing, put it down, and then used my blending brushes over the top to get this effect. And some of you may remember I did that on the live video a couple of weeks ago. Can't remember if it was Facebook or YouTube. I do YouTube on a Sunday night, and I do Facebook on a Friday night, I have to remember. All right, so I'm going to use the iridescent side, and I'm going to have this coming out. I'm deciding where I want these to go, actually. I might have a couple of them. We'll see. So these are going to look really pretty coming out from behind here. It's just, I might even have two, might have another one down the bottom here. I just really like them as like in a background or something like that. So this piece is already down. Like I said, this piece is going to go in here. So let's work out what we want to have. I can use, this is the Whimsical Tree set. I'm thinking this one will fit, but there'll be a bit of space at the top and the bottom. Not that that matters, but let's see. I am not sure whether I want to do that or not, but let's have a look. If I don't want to use these, then I've got a couple of other really nice Christmas sentiment sets that will work really, really well. So let's have a look at this one and see how it goes. Just going to line it up on my grid paper, and it just helps me get it straight on the stamp. Not that it really matters, especially on a circle. It doesn't really matter because we just turn the circle, right? Which is a good idea. All right. So I'm deciding, I think I will go with the polished pink. And I'm going to just make sure I have picked up a bit of extra ink on that one, I think, just around the top here. So I'm just going to make sure, always check your stamp before you, to make sure you haven't picked up any ink around the outsides. And I'm just going to pop this in the middle, straight up, straight down, or straight down and straight up. You don't want to rock your stamp. If you rock your stamp, that's when you start getting extra bits of ink around and you can kind of wreck your image. All right, so that's the polished pink. I think that does look good. I like the words. It says, "May the love of the season warm your home and fill your heart." That's really nice, isn't it? Don't you think that's nice? All right. So this is going to go like this, but I want this to come out from behind. So there's a couple of ways I can put, I can either attach it to the back of this, or I can attach it to the bottom and then put this over the top. You can go either way, but it's probably easier to attach to the back of your circle. That's probably the easiest way to do it. So let's try doing that, and let's pop a bit of adhesive. Now it doesn't matter what kind of adhesive because you just want it to hold. You could even put glue dots on or something like that. We just want this to hold behind this. So I'm just going to pop this here like that, and then I'm going to grab another one. You just gently kind of prise them away from the backing piece. They're just attached at the ends of the snowflakes. That's the only place they're attached. And then I want to make sure I have the iridescent side facing towards the front. And aren't they nice, these? I love them. All right, pretty happy with that. That's looking cute. All right, so then we're going to use dimensionals because that's not only going to give it dimension, but it's also going to help hold the snowflakes in the right place on the back. So I'm just going to pop probably 3 or 4 of them. Let's go with 4 over the back there. So it's doing 2 jobs, holding the snowflakes on, giving them a bit more stability, but it's also going to pop our piece up. Right, and there we go, just like that. This bit's sticking out. I probably should have moved that over a little bit, but it's not going to make a huge amount of difference because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more dimensionals because I can, and maybe I'll put it straight over the top of that one. I'm going to put them over the back of the circle so you cannot see them through, and that'll be enough to hold this whole vellum piece on. So you don't want to have a circle that's too small. You want a circle that's big enough to actually cover that piece. So you've got a bit more room to put your dimensionals on underneath. Cute, huh? Very, very simple, but cute. Now, there's a few things that we could do. I could use, I've got my lovely, this is white. I don't think it's going to stand out enough. This is the white seam binding ribbon. I'm not going to use that. And then I've got this gorgeous, we could use this. I could tie a bow and pop it because there's plenty of room here. So we could pop that down below. Or I was just thinking, I've also got some polished pink open weave ribbon, which is from the annual catalogue, and that would look really nice. So let's have a little play. I could have cut the snowflakes in half if I was just a bit lazy for that, Anita, but yes, I could have. Probably would have been more practical and I would use less snowflakes if I was doing that, but I was originally thinking I was only going to use the one snowflake at the top, and then I decided that for balance it looked good with one down the bottom as well. But yes, I could have cut them in half. Although you're seeing a little bit more than half of each one, to be honest. So either way. Yep, you're right too, Cherie. Now this does look nice with this beautiful ribbon, but give me 1 second. I'm just going to grab my open weave ribbon, the polished pink open weave ribbon. And I'm stepping away from my desk to do this because last night Crumpet, the ginger pussycat, was running down the hallway with this particular ribbon, and that's how I knew where it was. It wasn't with the other ribbons, it was put up out of his reach. So this is the glittery ribbon with the little glittery bits, because in a second I'm going to be asking you which one looks best, and it does look nice. And this is the open weave ribbon, so in the polished pink. So obviously the polished pink ribbon is going to stand out more, but we have got a lot of pink already on this. So I don't know, which one do you think looks best? They both look nice. This is beautiful ribbon. I like this one because it ties really easily. All right, so this is the open weave ribbon. Also, this ribbon goes really nicely with Magenta Madness as well. So to be honest, I think it's a little bit closer to Magenta Madness than it is to the polished pink, even though it says it's polished pink. So we've got the pink, and we've also got, you could colour the white ribbon. I don't have any polished pink blends, but you could. I've got Magenta Madness though. So what do people want to do? What do we think? Oh, getting lots of opinions. I know the cork paper is beautiful, Jenny. It's gorgeous. Just reading your funny comments. Just going through. So Jodie's saying pink. I think she's the first one. And yep, pink. And some people, look, it's a tough decision. I do like the glittery ribbon because I love the glitter. I mean, what's not to love, right? But then I also quite like the pink. I do think I will make the loops a little smaller, whichever one I'm using. I don't want it to be too big. I want it to be a small bow. And I'll cut these pieces a little shorter. So I think pink was the first answer, so I have to take that one. But they're both beautiful, and it's a really tough. I'm just going to have to make another card so I can use the other ribbon. I like them both. This was actually a really tough choice. So let me grab my ribbon scissors. Hi, Rosemary. Hello there. Northern Michigan. Is that Upper Peninsula or Northern Michigan as in like Grand Rapids or somewhere like that? Are you surprised I know these places? My husband is from Michigan, so I have inside information. I'm looking at your comments. Hey Denise, hi there. Yes, make two. That's what we have to do, right? Yep, exactly. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to do it because this is a color I have not played around with nearly as much, polished pink. I do like it, and I like it with white. I think it's really quite classy. So let me grab my glue dots and we'll attach this ribbon. You went to university there. My husband is from Manistee, which is on halfway up the west, on the West Michigan, like on Lake Michigan. If you know Ludington, it's a bit further north of Ludington, south of Grand Rapids, not as far north as that. And his sister lives on the Upper Peninsula. She was working in Marquette up there, and there we go. That's how that's looking. Isn't it nice? I really like this, guys. I had this card in my head only before I did this video tonight, so I'd kind of worked out what I wanted to do, but it's actually nicer than I expected. Not that I thought it would be bad, but I really like it. Now I've made it. Hello, Auckland. I'm just looking. Oh, Wisconsin. I'm sorry, Rosemary. Why did I think you said Michigan? Really? What is wrong with me? And then I've got Carolyn all excited because she went to university in Grand Rapids. So hey, it's a funny world. It's a small world we live in. There we go. I do feel like it's going to need, with this ribbon, I feel like it needs a little bit of bling. And hey, we can do that, right? We can use some rhinestones and add some bling. So I'm just going to, actually, I'm going to use my Tombow for this, because it's a nice, easy way, quick, of attaching a card base to a card front. And you get the option to kind of wriggle it into place before it dries as well. So that's an extra bonus. There we go. That's looking nice. So what do we think? Do we like this one? I am going to do a second one with the other ribbon because I really think that's very pretty as well. And like I said, that was a really tough choice. So I'm going to add some bling. I think, deciding where. I think maybe one here, and then maybe one here, and a little guy, maybe, oh no, I'm still deciding where these should all go. This one doesn't want to come off. Should be using my take your pick tool, but I'm not because I didn't get that out before I started. But it's okay. I've got it here. I'm going to actually, you can use the putty end, but I haven't got my putty end on at the moment because I usually have my brush, my die tip end in instead, because you can unscrew that and then put the putty end on, or vice versa. And I tend to use the die brush more than I use the putty, so I keep that one on. Right. I'm liking it, guys. This is nice. Thank you for your help and advice in deciding on the ribbon. We did go with the pink, but I think it's equally beautiful with both. I think they're both nice. It does look really pretty. Thank you. Yeah. And look, this vellum, it just really is very pretty. Really makes a card. And how nice is it? You know, this is one of the reasons why I got started with Stampin' Up in the first place, because I love the way everything coordinates. I didn't have to do any thinking. I used to hate when I was a scrapbooker before I joined Stampin' Up, and the whole coordination thing just got me, because I was so tired of going to the scrapbooking store and trying to find cardstock that would match the right ribbon, that would match the right this, the match right that. And with Stampin' Up, it's all done. And that whole coordination stuff is just amazing. It really floats my boat. So there we go. I'll put that out of the way for now, and then I'll just move a couple of these things aside, and I've got just a vague idea in my head of what we're going to do next. We've just done something in pink, so it makes sense to use the other main colour in my mind in this paper, which is the green. This is Mint Macaron, and I've got a card base here, so I'll fold that in half first this time and get started. And we'll do card number 2. So yeah, like I said, every single time I use this set, every single time, I agree, Judith. It's the best thing about Stampin' Up in my mind when I first joined, before I really understood all the other cool things. The best thing was the coordination. Yep, same, Carolyn. I'm the same. All right, so I'm deciding, I've got this paper here, and I've got, like I said, a vague idea in my head of what I want to do with it. So I'm going to pull out the different things. I'm going to use up some scraps. So I'm pulling out things that are going to go with the green. This one. And that's got that green on the back, which is really nice. Scraps are great when you don't know really what you want to do. So let's pull those bits out. I'm going to bring my trimmer in. And I've got a piece here, the green piece that I had that was here. This piece here, I think that is, how wide is that? It's not quite an inch. So it's about 7/8 of an inch, or about 2.2 centimeters. So I'm going to start with that measurement. I'm going to make it 9. And here's my green piece, and let me just put this on here and make sure that that's about right. Yep, that's about what I'm thinking. So I'm just going to pull up a couple of these green bits, and we're going to make them all the same size. And this is a really good way. See, here's a scrap, so let's use that one. So it's really, really great for using up scrap bits. I am deciding, do I want, will I keep them all the same size, or will I have different? Because this, having those pictures on it, makes me wonder whether I want that one to be less, or to be wider, because it's got, that's fine. That one there. So we've got these three colours, and oh, we also had the holly. That will go as well. Let me grab some of that, which was on the back of this pink here. So I'll make another piece or two that's about the same size. Now you could just use, I like using up scraps. I think using up scraps it always makes you feel, especially if they were just lying around on your desk, makes you feel like you've done something pretty good using up little tiny bits that otherwise might not have gotten used. So I'm kind of deciding where all these should go. I don't want those two together, so we'll have this one maybe here. I do like that green piece. I might have one more. I don't have to, but I'm thinking I might. And maybe I really, really like this green. I think that's nice. So I'll grab another piece of that, even though it's not a scrap. But I have enough. So I've got a whole new pack to start into because I needed it for the class. So I bought an extra pack. So these are kind of leftovers. And let's do this one. Now I could, of course, put these on straight, but I kind of like the idea of them being a little bit, let's use that word my mother used to use. Do you remember what it is? It's going to be hickledy-pickledy, okay? Because I don't know why, but that was just something my mother said. You know, everything was hickledy-pickledy. And we've had this conversation before. My husband, he uses the word cattywampus, which the first time he said it, I said, excuse me, what on earth are you saying? It was one of many language difficulties we first encountered when he moved over here, when we first got married. And yeah, it was pretty funny. So you don't realize how differently people talk until you have to live with someone, and then it's pretty funny. So I'm just using some little bits here, and we're kind of going across. And I'm not even worried about being exactly, you know, like an equal distance at the end or something like that. And the reason why is because I'm probably going to throw a piece for my sentiment here on this end. So we've got a few choices for sentiments. I've got a piece sitting here. I could just do a circle, okay, and that will work. That would be fine, and we could even use some of those snowflakes behind it again. And if you would like, Anita, I'll even maybe cut a snowflake and see if we can do that, but we'll see. So that's a possibility. Or maybe instead we I think my trimmer might need a new blade. Another possibility is we pick a different shape. So the good old Stitch So Sweetly dies that I love so much. That could look really good over here on the right hand side. And see, it doesn't, because we're going sort of all over the place with this, it doesn't matter if they're not the same distance from the ends. All right, so for example, I have got, in the Stitch So Sweetly dies, you've got this great shape. Or let's have a little look and see what's in our Christmas trees dies, which are the matching dies for this. So I'm leaning towards maybe a shape like this because I can do a little bit more with it. So this one, you know, we've got some that cut out ornaments. We've got big trees, small trees, like a little tree here, this little guy, and this is the tinsel for that little tree. That's very cute. And we've also got these little guys, which are the, they look really nice in silver. Actually, I have one of those left over from another card that I made the other day. Let me see if I can spot it on my desk, because if I can, we could just use that. I wouldn't even need to cut out another one, but you know, it's probably gone walkabout and I'll find it as soon as we finish. Because that's what happens, right? We find these things when it's all done. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of different shapes. If I am going to use any of these, we could pull those out, and I would probably cut them in silver. Silver actually works really, really well. It goes really nicely with this iridescent, even though like it's kind of silver iridescent. So that kind of works. So yeah, I would probably cut those in silver. But I am thinking I'm going to cut that Stitch So Sweetly shape, and maybe I'll pull these guys out in case I decide to use those as well, because that would look nice. And let's pop this back in its case. Now I haven't looked at the comments for a little while. I've got myself distracted as I did. Yes, I know, it's a good reason to join if you're a scrapbooker and looking for coordination. Do I still scrapbook? Yes, I do. And I do a scrapbooking class at least once every 2 months up in the Hunter Valley. So I go up there and run an all-day scrapbooking class every second month. It's usually the first Thursday of every second month. Agreed. Sometimes there's colours in there, I'm not really sure. And there's usually, Cherie, extra colours you can throw into a suite. Okay, you don't have to be stuck with the one colour, right? Anyway, I've got my mini cut and emboss here, and I'm just thinking I will use that Stitch So Sweetly die. And I've got a little idea of what I want to do with it. I'm going to quickly grab some white cardstock for that. I really am making this up as I go, which is why I haven't got everything pre-cut, because I wasn't thinking about that. So let's pick out some basic white cardstock, and I will quickly cut a piece to go through the machine. And I've got my platforms here. All right, so we've got platform number 1, and I have platform number 2, and then we need a second number 2. Which one is the one? Actually, I'm going to put this one on the bottom, and then this piece here. Can everyone see what I'm doing? And I'm going to pop this one. I'm going to pop it on an angle just to use up a little bit less paper. Not that it really matters, but I'll pop that on top. And you push it in until your handle starts to move, and then you grab your handle and it'll take it through. So you're always looking for that moving handle, because that's when you know that it's grabbing the paper. All right, so let's pop this through. All right, and that's this shape. I really like this shape. I use it a lot. And I'm going to probably put that here like this. All right, so what I wanted to do is a tiny bit of stamping on here. I've got the dies, and I'm going to use I'm going to use this small, we've got a couple that I could use. I could use the joy, actually maybe the joy would look good. So this little one says, wishing you Christmas cheer and magical moments that last all year, which is kind of cute. Also would work really nice on the inside of the card, to be honest. But you've also got this joy, and I'm going to pop the joy on a block. This is on my little A block, and I'm going to use my mint macaron ink, which is the same color as the base. Oh, picked up some extra ink there. That's why I always look. And I'm going to put my joy kind of top left. You're thinking, well, that's a weird place to put it. Yeah, I know. That's okay. I'm going to bring out a couple of blocks. Now we've got a big tree and a small tree. I'm going to put the big tree, actually that's a little bit small. Put it on a bigger block. Put this one here and this little guy here. And I'm going to use, did it again, got a bit of ink. I need to tap a little bit lighter. All right, so I'm going to put my small one on here. And then actually we already inked that up, so that's going to be fine. Bigger one. Now I've already stamped this, so essentially it's stamped off, so I'm just going to have a lighter tree there. Now you can see hopefully why I moved the joy over where it is. Right, so now we have some cute little trees. I'm going to stamp this one off. I want it to be lighter, and we're just going to have him there on the end. All right. Now what I need is my blending brush. I'm going to bring a blending brush in that I've used previously for green. There we go, that one there. And this is why I picked a bigger label than the circle. I wouldn't have been able to do enough with the circle, even though it's nice for a sentiment. Now, I'm going to run this off on here first, and then I'm going to kind of go over the edges of it. I don't want it to be too dark going on here, so I'm just getting rid of some of the ink on my scrap paper before I start doing it on my label. Cute, huh? That's nice. That's nice, Bronwyn, to get that kind of comment. You guys chat and talk so quickly that I can't keep up with all the comments, and I'm so sorry if I get behind. Lazy season's a good idea, Cherie. That's a great idea. You think I should flip this paper? Is that what you're saying? Hang on, let me see if I can. I have already popped them down. Covering up that that bow. I think that's what you want me to do. Yes? I'm being very careful because I don't want to wreck my card. So I'm just pulling that off very, very carefully. Is that what we wanted to do? I think it is. And then that will go over that. Is that better? You can see the bow more now. All right, so this is coming together quite nicely. All right, and I do need a little bit more glue underneath this piece, so let me just quickly, didn't quite get the corner of that. There we go. That's good. All right, so let's pop these on dimensionals. So who's got an exciting week ahead? Oh, Bronwyn, I meant to call you. How did your first week go in your new job? How was that? I'm so sorry I haven't called you. I've just been a bit slack. Bad friend. So this is going to go kind of here, like this. Something I thought of that would look nice, let me see if I have some handy, is, let's see if this Wink of Stella is, yeah, it's looking pretty good, is you could do a little bit of Wink of Stellaing over some of these trees, which will make them a little bit darker, but also make them sparkle. And we don't mind a bit of Wink of Stella, right? It's always a good thing to do. You know, that makes those trees pop out a little bit more. What is a lazy Susan? Well, it's this girl called Susan who, you know, she just doesn't do what she should be doing. But no, a lazy Susan is, you probably have a different name for it there. Yeah, as Cherie said, it's a board that has like a like almost like a wheelbase underneath so that it turns. So you have them in the center of a table so that you can rotate the center so people have, you know, the dish that they want to have facing them. All right, so guess what I'm going to do with this? You know what I'm going to do with it, right? We've got a ribbon here that we tied and didn't use on the last card, and we're going to use it now. We're going to put it here on the corner of this card. See, I got to use this one after all, although I still want to go back and remake that polished pink card and use this ribbon because I think that would be nice as well. So I'm just going to snip this off and use a glue dot to attach my ribbon just sort of down here in the corner. So this is a pretty simple card. I mean, it's a great way to use up scraps if you are someone who needs to use up some scraps. You have lots of little bits that you haven't quite been able to bring yourself to throw out because they're so pretty, when you can make them go on a card like this one. And of course, we'll need to add some bling. Now, I will just, because I'm going to put this on a white card base, I'm just going to run the edges. Oh, make sure I don't run my ribbon around so they darken up. There we go. Just darkening up the edges a little bit. You can, of course, sponge around, but this is the lazy person's version of sponging around. Just dip it around in your ink pad. There we go. All right, and I'm going to pop that on the card base, which is sitting right here next to me. And this one, of course, is a landscape card, so it's going to go this way. How many people, put your hand up if you're like me, and if you've done it more than once, put up both hands, has put their cards on upside down or back to front? Me. Lots and lots of times I've done that. So, you know, instead of putting it on like this, I put it on this way and then realized that I'm completely upside down. Yep. Do you know anyone, can anyone honestly tell me they've never done that? I'd be very impressed. Now, because we could go with our rhinestone bling again if we wanted to, but I also have here some, let me just see, I also have some other bling. I've got some really nice, you know, the gems, what do you call them? The in-color jewels. Those are really nice, and those would look really good on here. I'm just having a look to see. I know I have some here, and here's some. I could use the soft succulent ones, which is the same, which is a little bit darker than this, which might look nice, but I don't think they'll show up as much as the rhinestones, and they certainly wouldn't show up as much as the polished pink. We could add some polished pink ones because that's going to pick up some of this little bit of pink that's here with the presents. What do you think? Shall we try the polished pink? Let's see. And you can tell me if it doesn't look any good, you tell me. All right. I actually don't mind them. I think they look pretty. Do we like those? The label needs pink bling. Yeah, we could. So I could put, one of these on here, like this. What do you think? Done that plenty of times. Yep, I think we all have. So we like the polished pink on here. I think it works. And there we go. Totally different card. I love this suite because I think it really, really gives you lots and lots of scope to do different kinds of cards. I did think about adding a couple of my little silver trees, but I'm not going to. I think it's actually okay as it is. So here are our two cards tonight. There you go. They kind of look quite nice together, actually. What do you think? Which is your favorite? Which one do you like the best? Do we like the pink or do we like the green? Totally different, completely different cards. This one's a bit simpler. It's just got the sentiment stamped, and this one's got the extra sponging and the trees, but I like them both. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like that. There we go. All right. So I hope everyone is going to have a fantastic week ahead. If you would like to do my online class, like I said, you don't have to put in a particular size order. These are the cards that we're going to be doing, as I showed you earlier. You can go back and have a look at them if you like. This is a pop-up gift card holder, which is really rather cute. I will send you all the pieces. If you're actually making a purchase, then the pieces will come out to you. You just have to be in Australia for that one. I'm so sorry, because I can only take orders from people in Australia. So, and at the moment, I think I don't know if it's true, but I heard a rumor that the American Postal Service and Australian Postal Service are not talking to each other at the moment. So I don't even know if we're able to mail things to the US right now. But hopefully we are. All right, guys. I hope everyone has a great week. And please reach out if you have any questions. Ask me. If you haven't already headed over to my Facebook group and been part of that conversation, I'll put all the details for that below so that you can find me. And have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.